Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. For those that's already into the Shabbat, all praise and glory to the Most High. Had a hard time getting on, y'all. They didn't want to let me on. And I'm on. All praises to the Most High. Uh, we're going to go into some scriptures tonight. As you can, anyone that's seen the thumbnail, you can see that, it say we serving idols unawares, and who cares? I mean, certain things been brought out and being brought out in these last days. And we'll go through these scriptures and see how there's nothing new under the sun. Just like we were in the past, sort of like how it is now. It's just a different day, different hour, different minute, different second. But we still dealing with the same type of idolatry. And it's almost like I said, serving idols unawares, and even those that are aware. And it's like, who cares? Who really care? Gotta look at that, because it's very important that we do care, because we serve a power, the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He really cared. And the judgment that he's going to bring about for those that, serving idols unawares and don't care, it's going to be terrible. But my thing is this: how much do you really love the Most High? How much do you love Amashiach Yahushua, who you mostly so-called believe in? And he didn't call himself no Christian either. Last I read in Hebrews 7:14, it says, "For this evidence, the fact that our power sprang out of Judah." He came out of the tribe of Judah. So we've been dealing with a lot of different things, in our worlds of obscurity and fantasy worlds and Christian insanity with all these different religions and so forth, that we have to consider and not avoid the fact of the matter that this is real. Real as real could be. Understand this. So as we, as a people, and everybody, no matter who you are, you're going to come back to the Most High willingly or forcibly, or you out of here. Simple as that. I'm taking rocket science to figure this out, yo. You got one choice out of two choices. You can choose life or you can choose death. Simple as that. And that life still go with everyone, because it's going to be a remnant of everyone that's going to go to the kingdom. You understand? How about that? Okay. I don't like to say the nation's going to have salvation, because salvation to me is power and authority. When you read 1 Corinthians 15:24 down, Amashiach Shai coming to take out all power, rulership, and authority. He's bringing salvation to himself. He said that. Look, he said that. So if he brings salvation to himself, what is he taking down? To have this salvation for himself. Power, rulership, and authority. And nobody going to have power, rulership, and authority but the Most High, Amashiach Yahushua, and the children of Israel. That's why he asked him in Acts the 1st chapter, the 2nd verse. Are you going to restore again the kingdom to Israel? Come on. The kingdom was promised to the Israelites, whether you like it or not. In a righteous kingdom, though. And that's the problem I think a lot of people have, because they're looking at, as much as you can see all the wickedness that goes on in these kingdoms and have gone in the kingdoms because they ruled by Satan. Satan showed up. I'm sure say all the kingdoms of the world and say all could be thine if you what? Bow down and worship me. So, it's not going to be that way. He's going to be non-existent. Ain't no evil people going to be running nothing. The evil going to be burnt up, crispy. That's why it's crisp. Insanity. You insane now, and the result of you being insane now, you're going to be burnt crispy. As my late brother Gosakis used to say all the time. It is what it is. That's what the scripture is talking about. Choose life or death. The light is you got a chance to be a remnant that's going to go into the kingdom, no matter who you are. But you ain't going, everybody not going to have salvation, powers, and authority. No. Do we have powers and authority now as an Israelite? If that's the case, every nation is more chosen than us. Come on, make it make sense. That's why I like to show what happened to us will happen to them. He did this to us, so we're going to do it to them. You know, but the problem you got to get out of your mind is it's not going to be ruled by the devil. It's going to be ruled by the Most High of Mashiach Yahushua. And some of you are going to have to pay because you're wicked. You don't want to do what he say do. You want to do what you want to do. And it's okay. Because this is your kingdom. This is your world. And some of you, this is your consolation right now. This is all she wrote. But as for me, and those that's really going to look at trying to be righteous, trying to come back to the Most High's commandments and elevate him and praise him, all praise to the Most High. You know, the people that come and say, going to praise the Most High, all praise to the Most High. So are you the people that's coming? I'm wondering because I don't see many people praising the Most High. I mean, literally saying all praise to the Most High. Y'all done digress to all praises, AMT, TMH and all this, man, and you know, AMH and all that, man, all praise Most High. I mean, initial, I mean, what if he look at you as an initial? Think about it. What if he looked at you as an initial? And your initial goes back to how many people? Your initial goes back to how many people? How many people have your initial? Then you can say, okay, well, it's me. What how you gonna be you praising? It's me, it's not them, it's me. Oh, you're just an initial. or you said, okay, well, whatever you said, it ain't going to hell. He don't know you. Because you just an initial. That's how much we have digressed in the spirit of looking at our power, at least my power. I don't know about y'all's. Power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. He said that's his name forever, the memorial to all generation. No. So let's go into it because I got a endeavor spirit that I love the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, and I love my nation. I love people that's gonna really love him. He loved them that love him. Straight up. Who really love him? Bring them forth. I ask people all the time, you know the Most High? They say no, because I'm rolling in the spirit. I'm going to the Most High, asking them to make everything happen and appear in miracle form or whatever form he desires it to be. And they keep it real. And the only way you know him is through this Bible. I ain't talking about who you made up in your mind. Anyway, I digress. Colossians 3:17 as always, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. In the name of the Lord and Savior, give me thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. I want to say this too, because, you know, I'm a elder, and I've been doing this over 30 something years. Longer than that, if you really look at as long as I've been dealing spiritually, I'll say in my life. And Shield of Wisdom goes back to the early 90s when all camps of One West was one church, one school, one camp. Just so you know, it's not, I'm not trying to be out there to be able to say anything pertaining to I'm this, I'm that. I'm not nothing as all to be. We know in part prophesying part, I do. But I just want to, let you know it's a lot of people that come from Shield of Wisdom that can relate to Shield of Wisdom on this West Coast, you know what I mean? And across the country, that's across the country now, living in different places across the country now, way back to the early 90s. So, like I say, Shield of Wisdom existed when there was no camp that you can name now that came out of One West. We all was one camp when Shield of Wisdom existed. as a camp. Just want to make that known, so that y'all don't think this I'm somebody new or we just somebody new coming on the scene, whatever, you know what I mean? As far as, it goes like back here, what you see back here, those are should have was some TV shows for over 12 years straight. You see, I just wanted to make that known, all praises to the Most High, by some Mashak for enduring still, and I'm going to endure. Hopefully, you're going to endure. He that endure to the end, the same shall be said, right? So let's get into this because Israel need to know. Like I say, serving idols unawares or aware. And who cares? You better care. Know that. Let's go to Hosea 4:1. Hosea 4:1. Hosea 4:1. Take good notes, because it's gonna be intense as far as looking at ourselves from this point of view of, like they always say, oh, he's in the Old Testament. We're in the Old Testament. No, we're gonna look at it from the volume of the book. My Shaq come in the volume of the book. So you say you believe in him, he's in the volume of the book. We're gonna deal with it from what we see here and how, really, in essence, how it is right now. Right now. It says, hear the word of the Most High. It's not the word of Thawam, it's the word of the Most High. Ye children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. But the Most High has a controversy. You have a controversy, y'all. You got a charge against, have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. He got a problem with the inhabitants of the land. Why? Because there is no truth. You know that? Because there is no truth. What's the truth? We know that, class, right? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. It's amazing. We got to stay up. We got to stay on it, because you look around, this AI going to be the Hebrew Israelites. They're going to create some Hebrew Israelites that we'll watch out for. They're going to say the truth. They're going to know what the truth is. You understand this? The truth is the laws and the commandments of the Most High. So the Most High got a controversy with this land, especially in America, because there is no truth. Or tell me, what church, what organization, what congregation is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, if thou can? I've been asking this for years. I don't get no answers. You know why? Because they're not. That's why I say you got a controversy with this land, because there is no truth. That's the first thing he said. The laws and the commandments are not in this land, nor mercy, meaning not getting something that you do deserve to get, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. That right there, right there, right there. Knowledge is gathering the right information. That's knowledge. The right information of the knowledge of the Most High is not in the land. Because if you had the right information, the right knowledge of the Most High, you'd be praising the Most High. You would not be, nobody could have you just be a puppet. Nobody can have you be a spiritual puppet. Nobody can have you be a carnal puppet. Nobody can make you be, following something that would be belittling him or not even exalting him. You know what he said? Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. That's serious. I challenge you. Who is it that's praising the Most High? All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Forever, never, 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 never. And never, 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 never. Who? Send me some videos where you hear people praising the Most High. Man, he's the only one that's going to set righteousness on this earth. Give me somebody else who will, if thou can. What about your leader? Or your preacher? Or your pastor? Who you believe in more so than you do the Most High, the Mashak Yahushai? I'm just keeping it real. Take it or leave it. He said, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. Straight up. 2 Timothy 3:1. You got knowledge of the Most High, then you're going to be looking at, hey, you say repent and keep the commandments of the Most High, you better be looking at, hey, who wrote those commandments with his finger? You don't think it's important? He is important. He's the most important thing ever to exist, ever going to exist. I always say you're going to bow down now, you're going to bow down later, but you're going to bow down to the Most High. Every knee going to bow. Straight up. He going to be all in all. Or you think you're going to be all in all? Some of y'all might think y'all so prideful, y'all might think you outweigh the Most High. The way it seems, I mean, nobody really, 2 Timothy 3:1. That's why I say, this know also that in the last days that we're in right now, perilous times shall come. Dangerous times gonna come. He's saying it. In these last days, dangerous times gonna come. Say, for men should be lovers of their own selves, not lovers of the Most High. Lovers of their own self. When y'all exalt me, you know what I'm gonna say? Oh, praise to the Most High. Wow, so much like y'all was shot. Oh, man. Especially for what I'm doing here and going through these scriptures, I am allowed you to praise me. I'm asking for the Spirit of the Most High. So is it me? The Spirit of the Most High bringing it. How do I fit myself in that? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I say? For men should be lovers of their own selves, prideful, want to be uplifted. You know? No. And y'all love that because you prideful yourself. It fits in your category of your conduct. Lovers of themselves, covetous, desire what somebody else have, boasters, bragging. You know? Facts are facts. Now, a lot of y'all think you're bragging whenever you tell facts. Facts are facts. Boasters, proud, very much so, man. You know? Don't give us no name. Don't give us no exaltation. Well, like I said, where the Most High fit in? He said he got a problem with the land. Why? Because no knowledge of the Most High. You know why you don't have no knowledge of the Most High? Because anybody talk about the Most High enough. I ain't talking about Mashiach. I ain't talking about Israel. I'm talking about the Most High only. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. He the only one gonna bring righteousness on this earth. Who? Can you say I'll do him? Talk to me. Because see, a lot of y'all, I have to make it as simple as I can. That's why I like to talk to children, because they can understand. That's why myself say several little children, because they like a sponge. They can understand. But you adults, man, y'all been twisted. That's why I said men should be lovers of their own self. Women too. Covetous, desire what everybody else have. Boasters, bragging, proud, blasphemers. You know, blaspheming against the Holy Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit. Disobedient to parents. You know, disrespecting the parents. This all happening now. I remember it was a time, I don't know, it's probably because I haven't really been tuned in, but I remember the time parents were scared of their children. Gang banging and doing the things they're doing, man. Shoot, one thing I learned, the old school said, hey, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. And that's what has happened. You know, shoot. When you say, disobedient to parents, unthankful, no, never saying thank you. You do something for somebody else, yeah, kind, yeah. Unthankful, don't know how to say thank you. Where your morals at? That's the moral law. I don't care if you're Israelite or not. Just talk about us. We as a people. Straight up. Unthankful, unholy. You know, who's keeping the laws? Because we know holy is Romans 7:12. The law is holy, the commandments holy, and just and good, right? Unholy, not keeping the commandments of the Most High, without natural affection, don't have no compassion for no one, truth breakers, traitors. I mean, going against each other, man. You say you're gonna do something, yeah, man. You know, don't say nothing at all. Don't call away. I can't do it. No, truth breakers say I'm gonna do this. Don't do it. False accusers, lying on someone. You know, say he got this, he did this, he did that, he did this. I mean, I remember Brother Shalom said, look, watch this. Watch this, Shalom. He said he said something to someone on the brother's side, brothers on one side, women on the other side in Florida. And he said, whispered in his ear, say, now pass it around. By the time it came back, it wasn't nothing what he said. We told that first brother. That's how y'all are, man. False accusers, lying on people, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, despisers of those that are good. Only way you good is to follow what? The laws and the commandments of the Most High. Wicked, evil people, no matter what nation they are, they despisers of those that are good. And like I said, what's good? Romans 7:12. Commandment is holy. The law is holy. The law was holy. The commandment holy and just and good. So you keeping the commandments, despisers of those that's keeping the commandments of the Most High. Traitors, traitors, man. You're supposed to be down with somebody. Next thing you know, you ain't down at all, man. You over with somebody else. And now you done change your whole doctrine up. Running around confusion. People looking at you like, what's up with him? He used to be all right. Now he ain't all right. Heady, thinking they all that. High-minded, that's prideful. Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. Most High say, hey, don't do your pleasure on my day, the Sabbath day. Love of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. But what they say, you can do whatever you want to do on the Sabbath day. That's pleasure. You don't think pleasure is having sex? Come on, lover of having sex more than lovers of the Most High to say, hey, don't do your pleasure on my day, on the Sabbath day. Come on, we can't give him one day of the week. Something wrong with that picture. Y'all better wake up. Having a form of righteousness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. You got a right to turn away from people because, hey, they have a form of righteousness. Just like, even Satan is turned into an angel of light. His ministers show a sign of righteousness. Seems like it's righteous because you haven't studied and nobody have taught you. You ain't sat down and learned nothing. Straight up. You went to Bible school. People that went to Bible school, I remember this woman came to school. She was like almost 70 years old. And she said, I learned more in one class than I knew all my life. She was crying, elephant tears. One class, she said, I learned more than one class than I learned all my life. But she never came back. Think about that. She never came back. And this time, there wasn't no internet. You had to sit your butt down in a chair for hours and learn and take notes and listen and take notes and listen and take notes and look at the visuals that was given wherever it took. That's how we learn. But no internet. Like y'all can sit in your, right now, y'all go get a sandwich and whatever you go do and then come back missing half the lesson, something that's being said. But the only good thing, you can go back and rewind and look at it. Couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. That's why he said, having a form of righteousness, but denying the power thereof. You hear that? Denying the power, the spiritual power that it is when you keeping the Most High's commandments, you locked into the Most High, by showing myself to be able to have the spiritual power that comes with it. But you don't have it because of the fact of you following whatever it is that the world offers. You're going to see what we're doing and what we have been doing. The comparison is clear. He said, from such turn away. See, some people you don't have to deal with. Why ain't not together? Because he said, hey, from such turn away. Y'all, even also in Romans 16 and 17. It say, now I beseech you, brethren, Romans 16 and 17. Mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned and avoid them. My whole thing is Hosea 5 and 15. When I heard that, I was like, man, we look at divisions, but what about the offenses? Most High said, I'm going to go to my place until we, the children of Israel, acknowledge our offense and seek his face, because he turned his face away from us for breaking his commandments. Seek his face, he said. He said, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. In our affliction. He said, we're going to seek him early. So how much affliction we got to go through before you realize what it is that I'm teaching right now, the future and the present. For those that have ears to hear, I'm teaching the future and the present. That's why I said, now I beseech you, brother, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. So you got a right to avoid people. Why are they together here over here? No, we said they cause division and offenses. He said, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. For they that are such serve not our power, Mashiach Yahushua, but their own belly. You better watch out when people being exalted, and they're allowing you to exalt them. You didn't exalt me. No, man, the Most High name is jealous. He loved to be bragged about. He loved to be boasted about. That's why you read the Bible. I read it. When I read it, I can show you over and over again when things happen. They was like, Most High, remember this? Remember what you did? Remember how you opened up the Red Sea? Remember how you did all them 10 plagues on the Egyptians? They be talking about, they bragging on the Most High, reminding him what he did, you know? He liked that. If it wasn't so, why when we're in dire strait, we always go to that? I can show you over and over again, we won't go to that. Tell the Most High what he did. Remember what he did in Egypt. And you know the prophecy of what he's going to do in this modern day Egypt. Who going to be ready, though? I always say you better be ready, so you ain't got to get ready. That's why I say, look, but they that are such serve not our power, Mashiach Yahushua. That's causing division and offenses, but their own belly, their own self. And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. You hear that? They speak very well, sound very intelligent, and very boastful and exalting themselves because they've been exalted. And it make you feel, I mean, you'll see. And we go through this, you'll see we are the people of the book for sure. And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple, the minds of the simple. That's why I tell you what, you got to look at this. That's why it's very important to study to show yourself approved unto the Most High. You're going to meet the judgment seat by yourself. Nobody going to be there but you alone. I got to meet the judgment seat by myself. You're going to meet the judgment seat by yourself. That's why he said Proverbs 1:22. How long you simple ones, calling us simple, when ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. That's why I tell you in verse 7, the fear of the Most High, to be scared, to be afraid of the Most High, is the beginning of knowledge. They say, but fools despise wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge, how you apply this knowledge in your life, and instruction. You can't tell them nothing. You're a fool. Straight up. Second Ezra, the 8th chapter, and verse 50. Now, here it is. Find my apocrypha. Second Ezra, 8th chapter, verse 50. But many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, this is a time that we in, though. That's the last days, the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. You see? People have walked in great pride, and they walking in great pride. We just read about it and have read about it just now. Those that have ears to hear. If you just coming in, go back. And Shabbat Shalom, welcome everyone. You know, go back and review this. It says, in 2 Corinthians 8:50 says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. You see this? He said, but understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Talking to Ezra. He says, seek out the glory of such as be like Ezra. How was Ezra? Verse 48. And this also thou who was Ezra art marvelous before the Most High. How was he? In that thou hast humbled thyself, which is opposite of being prideful. That's how you are marvelous before the Most High. Not thinking you all that from all the things that you just coming in, you can go back and rewind, you know, and see all the things how it's going to say people going to be in these last days. We the people of the books, for real, for real. But he told Ezra, in that thou hast humbled thyself, which is contrary to being thinking you all that, give the glory to the Most High. In that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. You see? That's why he told him, verse 51 say, but understand thou for thyself. He said, understand this for yourself, Ezra, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. See that? He says, seek out the glory for such as be like Ezra. That's powerful. Those that are humble. That's why when you like this, when you look at this and you roll it in the spirit of, that's spiritual right there. And you see this pride that's presented in these last days. It's kind of like vexes you when you're not prideful and you don't want people to really exalt the Most High. Give him the glory. You ain't know, I mean, come on. What scriptures did you write? Because we going by these scriptures. What scripture got your name on it, chapter and verse? Talk to me. I know none of them have my name and chapter and verse, but yet still, you don't learn a little bit of something now. You want to be somebody in this crazy world, man. Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29 and 23. A man's pride shall bring him low. A man's pride gonna bring him low. Whether you see it now, or you see it later, or you might not see it at all, because you might not even be around to be able to see these prideful people that's gonna be brought down. You know, I always say, you know, the truth is a revolving door. You know, if I play some of the best that men could be from the early 90s, and even before that, and where they are, where are they now? Talk to me. Is I name someone? Can you name someone? Is I name someone? Can you name someone? I'm talking about it's a lot of people that the Most High brought down low. It's serious. Why? You gotta be humble. You have to be humble. You know, I don't care how it seems. You know, I don't take away my manhood for being humble. Don't take away your manhood for being humble, or you being a woman being humble. You heard what he just said? What's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High? Making me something different. We just read it. It says, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. That's from the Most High. That's from Mashak. He was humble. Come on, y'all better understand. Y'all talking about y'all Christ like Christian don't mean Christ like. That's something made up. Believe that, because they not Christ like. Philippians 2. Let's see how he was. Philippians 2. Let's start at verse. Start at verse 4. Let's start there. Philippians 2 and 4. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. That's how the essays were rolling. I'm not sure side. Apostles. That's how we're rolling, man. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua. Since y'all say y'all like him, y'all think Christianity mean, or Christian mean Christ like. Let this mind be in you, which was also in a Mashiach Yahushua. How was he? Who, being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, meaning he was the son of the Most High. He done what he's saying the Most High do, and he said what the Most High said, because he is the word of the Most High. Don't let that go over your head, though. But made himself of no reputation. Okay, now, think about that. He did more miracles than we put in all the books of the world, but made himself of no reputation. I'm trying to be the right. That's why I pulled away back from a lot of the things that I've seen in the world, being involved with a lot of the things that were, being put out to the world amongst those that were putting things out in the world. They say, but made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant. Hear that? Took upon him the form of a servant, serving the people, and was made in the likeness of men, not as no angel. So, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. Now how you like him and you ain't humble? He humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. That affliction, that cross meaning the affliction that he went through in suffering for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. All praises to the Most High for sending his only begotten Son to die for wretched us, man. Psalms, Proverbs. Go back to Proverbs 23. You see, he humbled himself. So are you like that? Nah. No way, shape, or form. Proverbs 23 and 27. 29, selected 29 and 27. I don't want to get on that subject. Selected Proverbs 29 and 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the Most High, to the just. No more just than him. An unjust man, a man that don't keep the commandments of the Most High, is an abomination to the just. Those that are keeping the commandments of the Most High. And he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Hear that? An unjust man, a man that don't keep the commandments of the Most High, woman that don't keep the commandments of the Most High is an abomination, a filthy wicked, filthy McNasty to the just. Those that's trying their best to keep the commandments of the Most High. And he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. You see that? So we're an abomination to the wicked because they'll call us the devil, deceitful and evil, against them being deceitful and evil. Figure that one out. That's how this works, y'all. Proverbs 12:26. Proverbs 12:26. Oh, we something else, sure. Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him. You know, it said the righteous is more excellent than our neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him. So I look at this and I say, okay, well, once you are totally involved with the foundation of a Mashiach Yahushua who did not sin, who came to be an example for us today, because it's written for us today, the wicked can't move you. You can't be seduced by things that they'll bring to the table. If you really care about your salvation, if you really care about making it to the kingdom, I don't care who it is. They ain't moving you this way, that way, whatever way. You're going to make sure that whatever you're doing, you pray on it, make sure that it's justifiable according to the word of the Most High. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. You know, how many times, you know, after so long, the wicked's got to leave you alone. They're seducing you. They can't get through. They got to leave you alone. But where are you at as far as allowing, you know, these people not dealing with the truth. And they telling you, come on over here. Let's, you know, it's your birthday, or it's Christmas. You know, come on, we're gonna celebrate. That's the wicked. Ask them to celebrate the new moons. Say, hey, we celebrating the Passover. Invite them to the Passover. Invite them to, we got the feast of the blowing of the memorial of the trumpets coming up. Invite them there. Bing, okay. Touch the spirit, right? Bing, they got to be out of here. But invite them to acknowledge the Day of Atonement or the Feast of Tabernacles. Come on now. Mashiach did these things. They're supposed to be Christ-like, right? As they say, he did these things. Invite them to do those things. Those are the most high feast days and Day of Atonement for the forgiveness of our sins. Come on. Verse 28, Proverbs 12:28. In the way of righteousness is life. In the way of righteousness is life. And in the pathway thereof, there is no death. You hear that? He say, in the way of righteousness is life. That's why Mashiach was trying to say what? What's righteousness? Let's define it first. Since we're in Proverbs, go back to Psalm 119. You ain't got to go back that far. Psalm 119, 172. And see how this flows together. I mean, nothing going to be different except for the things that they put in here to have you not be close to the Most High. But here it is. It's the definition of righteousness. Psalm 119, 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments, all your commandments are righteousness. You see? All your commandments, Most High, are righteousness. We're going to speak of the word of the Most High because all his commandments are righteousness. So it tells you here clearly in Proverbs 12 and 28, in the way of righteousness, in the way of keeping the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High is life. That's why Mashiach said what? In John 14 and 6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. The way of righteousness is life, right? So we say, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is Psalms 119, 142. We can sing it together, class, right? That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So he's telling you, no, the same thing we see in here. The way of righteousness is life. So the way, he say, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is what? The laws and the commandments of the Most High that's going to lead to life, right? That's what he's saying, same thing. In the way of righteousness, in the way of keeping the commandments and the laws of the Most High is life, going to lead to everlasting life. And in the pathway thereof, there is no death. Straight up. Just go to sleep and wake up. Hey, coming back with a Mashiach Yahushua. That's why I say comfort you with these words. But here we are. Look at verse 19, Proverbs 23:19. The lip of truth, the lip of truth, the lip of the commandments of the Most High, the lip that's working to bring forth the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High shall be established forever, forever. But a lying tongue is but for a moment. You know that? Yeah, a lying tongue gonna be just for a moment. See, deceit, the lies is in the heart, in the mind of them that imagine evil. See? Understand this. Deceit is in the heart, was the mind of them that imagine evil. But to the counselors of peace is joy. So the deceit is in the heart, the mind of them that imagine evil. And what is it that we're looking at in this world right now? That's why I tell you in Revelation 12 and 9. Come on. And the great dragon was cast out of that old, excuse me, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angel were cast out with him. Right here running around on this earth, man. Don't get it twisted. How they do it? How they deceive all the nations? How they deceive everybody? Until this day. Revelation 18:23, the last sentence says what? For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. I mean, even in the pharmaceutical world, beyond just witchcraft, I mean, people take medicines and that's a whole different person. Spirits. You know, that's why you call spirits strong drink, you know, alcohol and so forth. They drink, that's a different person altogether. That's real. That's why they call it spirits, you know, and through their sorceries, they deceive the whole world. That's why here we are as a people reading about ourselves and what we did. Look what we did. Y'all ready for this? Psalm 106 and 35. Psalm 106 and 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. See that? We were mingled among the heathen, as we are now, scattered among all these nations, and learned their works. We learned what the heathen, we learned their works. We learned what they were doing, are doing. And that wasn't a good thing for us. When the Most High told us in Jeremiah 10, that's why I say we have the volume of the book to be able to look at it all. And these last days, he's bringing forth his spirit, the spirit of the Most High, to enlighten us from darkness, ignorance, into his marvelous light. That we shine bright, be illuminated, that the whole world can understand what it is that we're bringing forth. You know, it's sad that so little of us are really understanding the offense, first and foremost, of the Most High. And play it down like you're not offending him. That's why I say, who really know the Most High? The knowledge. That's why I say you got a controversy with the people in the land. Why? Because there's no knowledge of the Most High in the world, especially in this land. It say, hear ye the word of which the Most High speaketh to you, O house of Israel. Thus say the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen. What did he say? Learn not the way of the heathen. Don't learn the ways of these nations. Who set up your religion? And don't tell me a brother or sister did. Where they get their knowledge from? Because as for the way of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua, as far as us dealing with the real truth, it tell you Wisdom Psalm 5 and 7, they have not known it. So this truth didn't come from no other nation. No other nation taught us this truth. Or they would still be teaching it, wouldn't they? What I said. Everybody have an opposition against us. They not with us. I mean, we number one entity that everybody have a problem with. Why? Because we bring in the truth. At least I know I'm bringing the Most High. I'm bringing the Mashiach Yahushua, and I'm bringing Israel, and I'm bringing everybody else that this Bible is talking about. But I'm going to deal with that order, and I'm going to keep it in that order. You can go any way you want to, but I know I can't be wrong going with him. But you tell me something better than him. Talk to me. That's why he said, hear ye the word was the Most High. That's what I'm talking about. Speaking unto you, O house of Israel, who live in a house family, O family of the Israelites. What did he say? Thus said the Most High. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. We ain't supposed to be learning the way of these other nations. That's why they can't teach me nothing, man, except I hear it that can coincide with what I already know and what I can look into to be able to say, okay, that's true. I'll bring it to the table. Other than that, man, they ain't sitting down. Ain't they done that already? Haven't they done that since we just came over here, or they came over here and took us off our land? You made us slaves. That's what they've been doing. So it's a problem whenever you finding out these things and present it to the world. Oh yeah, they don't like that. And especially don't like you dealing with coming back to the Most High. That's the problem. Y'all better understand. Thus said the Most High, learn not to wear the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them, right? So he told us that. And you keep on reading down, you're gonna read about that's about Christmas tree. You know what I mean? Don't our people follow the way of the heathen and following Christmas and so forth? That's talks about a Christmas tree. But that's not what we talk about. He just said, learn not to wear the heathen. But here we are in Psalms 106 and 35. It says, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, man. And look at Exodus 34, 11. Exodus 34, 11. We're going to read to verse 17. Exodus 34 and 11. And it reads, observe thou that which I command thee this day. He said, behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite, the Canaanite. He said, the Amorite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Say, take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant, y'all make an agreement, you make a contract with the inhabitants of the land, whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare or trap in the midst of thee. He's telling us, don't deal with these nations. Learn not the way of the heathen. But what are we doing? Until this day, learning the way of the heathen, following whatever they say. And they're not, like I told you, in the end, they're going to say, as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, we have not known it. Read your Bible. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7. That's what they're going to say. We word ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we've gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, we have not known it. That's what they're going to say. Make it mean something different. That's why it is very important that everybody learn from what we're teaching. You know, the judgment is the judgment. The blessing is the blessing. You should want to be blessed to be in a righteous kingdom, or you wicked and evil and you're going to burn. Straight up. He said, take heed to thyself. Take heed to ourselves. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, as we have done in all these different religions. All these different religions that don't keep the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. Whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. They don't change, but ye shall destroy their altars, everything they believe in their religions, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other power but the Most High, whose name is jealous. Y'all hear this? So we're supposed to worship no other power but the Most High, whose name is jealous. It's a jealous power. Better hear what he's saying. Lest thou make a covenant, lest you make a contract or agreement with the inhabitants of the land, which we have done in this land, wherever we scattered in. And they go a whoring after their gods, their idols. You tell you in Psalms 96 and 5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. And you sacrifice it to their gods, that's religions. What religion is keeping the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws that the Most High wrote with his finger? Or are they saying you ain't got to follow him? Saying you ain't under the law? Talk to me. But you under grace. Which is getting something you don't deserve to get. And they tell you pray to the Most High, tell him give you what you want him to give you, but he don't supposed to give you whatever you desire to get. That's grace. Think about it. Shot. gross darkness that is, gross ignorance that is. Give me what I want, but I know you ain't supposed to give me whatever I want. Grace is not getting something you do deserve to get. Grace is getting something that you don't deserve to get. You know, you asking for something that you don't deserve to get. Make it make sense, y'all. I know a lot of y'all don't like, y'all don't like the truth be put in your face because it hits down to the core of the matter, of to the bone. You know what I mean? Like, you would have sound like to read this again. Exodus 34 and 14. For thou shalt worship no other power, no other power, for the Most High, whose name is jealous. You hear that? Whose name is jealous. And you know, some people, man, I've been doing this over 30-something years, man. Always on the Sabbath. All praise to the Most High, about so much like the other side. Why would people call me on the Sabbath knowing that I'll do the same thing? I've been doing the same thing for, I mean, some of my people, it's just, I said it because they messed up my conference call. Man. Dang, it's messed up everything. Selected. It say, Exodus 34:14. For thou shalt worship no other power. That's why people need to be into this word. If I wasn't online, I'd still be in this word. Straight up. You got to be in this word from evening to evening. Somewhere or another, you gotta, this is the Most High's day. You ain't got time to be talking about whatever you talk about this day or that, whatever. Come on. Dang, messed up my whole conference call. Select you. Spirits, man. Anyway, Exodus 34 and 14. For thou shalt worship no other power, no other idol, yo, no other power. For the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. You see that? Lest thou make a covenant, a contract, or agreement with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods. That's these different religions. And do sacrifice unto their gods, because their gods is not the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in these religions. I hope y'all know this. Or show me what religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. I'm not sure Shai kept the ceremonial laws. He kept the laws of the Most High. Did he sin? That's if y'all Christ-like, you're supposed to do what he said, what he did. What he say, do, and what he did. Right? Right? Or wrong? He didn't sin. He didn't break the laws of the Most High. He didn't break the commandments of the Most High that the Most High wrote with his finger. And he was an example to show us that it could be done. This is what we have done. Let's start make a covenant, a contract agreement, just verse 15, with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring. What's that called? A bunch of hoes after their gods. After when you go up in these churches and these religions, these organizations, whatever they call themselves, I call it Christian insanity institutions. You go whoring after their gods and do sacrifice of their gods, and one calleth thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice, and thou take of their daughters unto thy sons. You take, that's what, just letting you know, Mosiah is not with interracial marriages. He said, and thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, after their religions, their beliefs, their false doctrines, and so forth, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods, after their idols, after their religions, which come from a Latin word religio, mean to hold back, keep down, or restrain you from the truth. Restrain you first and foremost from the Most High. Prove me wrong. What religion is making you get closer and closer to the Most High, if thou could say. What religion? Because they say Mashiach Shai is the Most High. Most High is Mashiach Shai. There's no distinction between the two. They believe in that Trinity. The Most High, Mashiach Shai, the Holy Spirit. Don't you know what the Holy Spirit is? They can't define the Spirit of the Most High for the life of them. They better understand this, man. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods. That's what you see on my thumbnail. What they doing? They bowing out to all these different idols. That's what they doing. Whether you know it or not, serving idols unawares, and who cares? I'm letting you know. Because I love you. Look what he said, Deuteronomy 7. Let's go to the law. Deuteronomy 7. Let me make sure that you understand, just in case some of you that say, oh, that's the Old Testament. Let me let you know what Mashiach Shai said. And tell him he wrong. Go through the throne of the Most High and say, your son is wrong saying that. Since that's what y'all say. In Matthew 5:17. Matthew 5:17. Tell him Mashiach Shai he's wrong. He said, think not, don't you think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. Where's that at? That's the Old Testament. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. He came to fulfill how he had to suffer for the 12 tribes of Israel's sins. For I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here. One jot or one tittle, so that no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. You hear that? He let you know that the law still exists. He said, whosoever, these pastors, ministers, preachers, whatever you want to call them, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, and that's what they tell you. We're not under the law, we're under grace. Whosoever, no matter who it is, therefore shall break one of these least commandments, that somebody shall say telling you this. That's in the law and the prophets. And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. So they making you be the least in the kingdom of heaven, but you regurgitating that. And then you're going to pray to the Most High and want him to do whatever you want him to do, but you ain't got to do what he's telling you to do. Make that make sense to me. He got to answer your prayer, but you don't have to do whatever he tell you supposed to do to please him. But he's supposed to please you by answering your prayer, and you've been taught you under grace. Getting something you don't deserve to get. But yet still, he got to answer your prayer to give you whatever you want. That's why I turn to the left, because that's where you at. You ain't on the right side with the Mashiach Shai. You on his left hand. Because look what he said. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so. That's what y'all teaching. We ain't on the commandments. We ain't under the law. And y'all got to know to say why you won't put yourself in bondage again. Don't you know that's why we went into captivity? That's why we went into bondage. See, I was going to say it's like, that's like sorcery. That's like witchcraft. That's like some kind of spell that they got on y'all for you to think opposite. You know, we went into captivity for breaking the laws of the Most High. So they want you to remain in captivity. They want you to remain in captivity with them. Or for the system that's set up to keep you in captivity and not come back to the Most High. That's what I'm telling y'all. He wrote the laws with his finger, and their whole objective is keep you away from him. What you say? You don't think so? If not, prove me wrong. I'm telling you. Praise the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Whosoever, no matter who it is, therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. And that's how a lot of y'all that say we ain't under the law. And you Israelites, you might not be Israel. You know, all Israel out of Israel, you might not be Israel. Who knows, you know? Why are you saying that? Because you're not under the law. You're a Gentile. You didn't get a law to y'all. You gave them to the Israelites, you know? You can be the least in the kingdom of heaven. No, they got you set up to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. That's why you should be learning from us, the Israelites. But whosoever shall do, just as my shall say, telling you, whosoever shall do and teach them, That's the commandments, the laws of the Most High that he wrote with his finger. The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Don't you want to be great in the kingdom of heaven? Or you want to be the least in the kingdom of heaven? You got a choice. You got a choice. Going back to Psalms 105. You got a choice, choose life or death. That's it, y'all. That's all. That's the only choice we all have. But we got to work that we can see life, y'all. That's for anybody and everybody. They got a remnant of everybody, except for those that blaspheme the name of the Most High's Spirit. Is unforgivable in this world and the world to come. Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. And that's something I can't even get back on my conference call behind what they did. Psalm 106. Now we're going to Deuteronomy 7, Salakia. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Let's go to the law. I just wanted to show you that Amashah Shah didn't dismiss or disannul the law. It's still in effect, y'all. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. We can start at 1 because this is the same thing we just read previously. It says Deuteronomy 7 and 1. When the Most High thy power, your as a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, talking to the Israelites, shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. You hear that? 7 nations greater and mightier than we, the children of Israel. And when the Most High thy power, your power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. He said, we shall kill them. Smite mean to kill them. And utterly destroy them, these 7 nations. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. You see, do you hear the same thing over and over again? Most High got to speak once, twice. Oh, I heard that already. Don't you see how many times the Most High speaking to us? Because we got spiritually ADHD. Straight up. That's why he got to say it over and over again to us. Like I'm saying certain things over and over again. You're going to see it's going to hit every single lesson, pretty much. You know why? Because we got ADHD spiritually, point blank. Go for this, go for this, go for that, but go for the wrong thing. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. He said, no contract with them, nor serve, nor show mercy unto them. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve to get. He said, give them what they deserve to get. Smite them. He said, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Then you know, Most High ain't with no marriage of other nations outside of your nation. The 12 tribes of Israel. He said, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. This is the scripture. When did this change? And Mashal Shah said, don't even think that I'll come to destroy the law of the prophets. Here we are. It's a law. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his daughter, his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. But they will turn away thy son from following me. That's the reason, because all the gods of the nations are idols. Psalms 96 and 5. That they may serve other gods. You see, they may serve other gods. That's why y'all serving these religions. Because you caught up with their spirit in their system of having you not get closer and closer and closer to the Most High. That's their whole objective. To keep you away from doing what he would have us do so that we could be righteous in his eyes. But they would turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods, other idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Y'all can take it lightly if you want to, The Most High, he's going to destroy us suddenly, he said. Who cares about that? He did this. He destroyed us suddenly. Because what do we do? Just what he told us not to do. You're going to see this. Even worse, man. It's like But thus shalt thou deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars. This is everything they believe in. This is their religions at that time. Destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire, he said. He said, but thou art a holy people. Say, we're a holy people. Holy only means we are the people that are keeping the commandments of the Most High. What's holy? Again, Romans 7 and 12, class. The law is holy, the commandment holy, and just and good. See? So we are the people that keep the commandments of the Most High. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High, thy power. That thy mean your power. The Most High, thy power, your power, hath chosen thee, we the Israelites, to be a special people. How special? Unto himself. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's what the Most High said. You got to make it mean something different. You can't, then you got to roll with it. The Most High did not set his love upon you. Hear that? Show me where the Most High said he loved anybody else besides the Israelites. If thou can, where it say, I love Ishmael. I love Ham. I love Edom. I love Elam. I love Ammon. I love Moab. Where's that at? But people that come into these religions think the Most High love everybody. He don't. Messiah most certainly said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You got to deal with that. You know, it says, the Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. Hear that? We were the fewest of all people, meaning our numbers were less than all other nations. But because the Most High loved you, he just said it again. Most High speak once, he speak twice. Show me what the Most High say he loved anybody else. He said he loved you. We as the Israelites. And because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, have the Most High brought you out with a mighty hand. That's a Mashiach Yahushua, is the top angel of the Most High, and redeem you out of the house of bondage, of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Most High, thy power, he is the Most High, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant, contract, or agreement with his laws, statutes, commandments, and mercy with them that love him. And what? And keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. So all you're taught that you ain't under the commandments, you ain't under the law, the Most High don't love you. That's what it say. Know therefore that the Most High, thy power, he is the Most High, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant, contract, or agreement, and mercy, not getting something you do deserve to get, with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. But, and repayeth them that hate him to their face. You hear that? And repayeth them that hate him. You hate him if you don't do what he say do. To their face. To destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Believe this. He said he ain't gonna be slack to them that hateth him, that don't want to do what he say do. You don't want to keep his laws, statutes, commandments. He will repay him to his face. He said, thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day, to do them. Not just read them, but do them, he said. All praises to the Most High. Let's go back to Psalm 106 now. Psalm 106. Verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. Right? Now he told us in Deuteronomy 28, Because you wonder why we were mingled among the heathen. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Look what he told us. But it shall come to pass, if thou, that's the Israelites, we the Israelites, will not hearken, might listen. We don't want to listen unto the voice of the Most High, your power, thy power, that's your power, which is personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So from verse 16 all the way to verse 68 are the curses that befell the people. And we the only people that those curses befell. Believe this. So what do you say in verse 64? To the subject matter. That's something, man. I can't even get back on my conference calls. The cat called me. It's a lot. Make sure I keep this one.
Hello, Moto.
Okay. So Deuteronomy 28, 64. It says, and the Most High shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there will be scattered among these nations, thou shalt serve other gods. That's just different religions. Like you see on my thumbnail, they bowing down to all these different gods and don't even realize it. All these different idols and don't even realize it. And don't care. That's why he said, and the Most High shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even to the other. And there, when we be scattered among all these nations, thou shalt serve other gods, other idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And you can tell me that right here, we're in the wilderness. The Most High came down and gave us the doctrine of the Catholic Church, the Baptist, Jehovah's Witness. Talk to me. You can go in here and see the doctrine of Church of God in Christ, Seventh-day Adventists, Church of Christ, whatever religion that exists today. They basing what their belief is on this Bible and what it's really talking about. But you hear what it's saying? And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there will be scattered, thou shalt serve other gods. That's other idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That wood is crisp insanity all day long, and stone represent like the rock, the cobblestone, Buddha's a stone, all those different things that we following in religions. That the Most High didn't give us no religion. He gave us laws, statute, commandments, point blank, to go by. That's what we're looking at now. That's when you go to Psalms 106. Matter of fact, before you go there, go to Luke. Let me show you what happened to us. From the Roman Empire, Messiah warned us of this. This happened to us, y'all. We the Israelites. He said in Luke 21 and 20, he said, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, that's the Roman armies, and those that were in the Roman armies that was against the Israelites, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. He even warned us in, I mean, these are things that, like I say, is written for us. because majority of us don't pay attention. He warned us in Luke 19 and 34. 43 and 44. Select it. Luke 19:43. Look what he said. For the days shall come upon these prophesied what's going to happen to we the Israelites in Jerusalem in the future. That's where we're at in the land of Israel. Say, for the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies, not your friends, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. If you don't do what he say do. Those that's, hard-headed, it's like right now, the prophecy is going to happen. You be hard-headed if you want to. You're going to fulfill what it is that happened to us and what's going to happen in the end of this world that we're living in now. That's already prophesied what's to happen. That's why I say you got to be ready. So you ain't got to get ready. You know what to do. But a day shall come upon thee that thine enemies, not your friends, but thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. He said, and shall lay thee even with the ground, flatline you, kill you, and thy children within thee, kill the children. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. And you didn't follow what he said do. So when you come back again, like I said, the Most High speak once, say twice. My shall speak once, say twice. What he say again in Luke 21 and 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, that's the enemies. That's the Roman armies that he's calling the enemies, or making mean something different. They say, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, we're dealing with the truth, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Know that the time that this place is going to be deserted, it's going to become desolate, is near. Then let them which are in the Judea flee to the mountains. As we told us, flee into the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein. Why? For these be the days of vengeance. Our enemies going to bring vengeance on us. The Roman army is going to bring vengeance on us. But these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written, where would it be written, pastors, are fulfilled, may be fulfilled. It was written in the Old Testament that you don't go to understand what was said that has to happen for the future. He said, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, those that have babies and little children. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people, and wrath upon this people. What people? The children of Israel that was in Israel, in Jerusalem at this time. This is what he said. Now, fulfilling what it says in Deuteronomy 28 and 64, we're going to be scattered among all these nations. And when we be scattered among these nations, we're going to follow their gods, even wood and stone. Look what it say. And they shall fall by the sword. The edge of the sword, Salakia. We're going to fall by the edge of the sword as Israelites, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Come on. Isn't that what it said? Deuteronomy 28:64. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. The Romans are the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. You see that? Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now let's go back to Psalms 106. And only the Most High know that. No man knows that. Don't be fooled. Let nobody tell you it's going to happen this day, that day. No, only the Most High know it. That's why him knowing, or we should have as much as possible, have a relationship with him. Read the power. Psalm 106 and 35. But will mingle among the heathen and learn their works and serve their idols. You hear that? These religions are idolatry, man, which were a snare unto them. Now, if a religion is keeping the commandments of the Most High, I'd like to know which one. Which one of these churches that y'all believe in keeping the commandments of the Most High that he wrote with his finger? You don't know how to cast out the devil, straight up. Because you can't cast out the devil without going to the law. like a Mashiach showed us. You know, it's very important. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Hear that? This is what we did. Holler and scream about this. You know something? I want you to feel the same way that you feel about what we did here, the way you feel it whenever we talk about these heathen nations, the judgment for them and what's going to go down and this, that, and the third, whatever. Feel for the children of Israel. You know why nobody feel about us? They don't really care about us. Nobody care about us. I remember I was asking, who loved me? Nobody love me. These other nations. The nations don't even speak to you. They don't look at you. You don't even exist. Who really love you? That's why I said what? And serve their idols, which were a snare unto them, was a trap unto us, y'all. And serving these religions and so forth. You handle the Bible, they turn a few pages and put the Bible under their arm and keep talking. The rhetoric that they've been taught to say. Yeah, they sacrificed their, look what we did. Yeah, we sacrificed our sons and our daughters to devils, man. Man. It's going to get deep. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters. Can you imagine that? That's unbelievable to me, but it's real because we did this. That's how wicked we were, man. We sacrificed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. That's talking about us. You feel the same way about what we did here as y'all feel about when we talk about the judgment of the heathen and the things that's going to happen, the things they done. It ain't the same feeling because nobody care about us. Thus were they defiled with their own works and went a-whoring with their own inventions. We invented things to be wicked and evil before the Most High. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people. Insomuch that he abhorred, he hated his own inheritance. How you feel about that? He hated the Israelites. But what we did to our sons and daughters, burn them in the fire to these idols of Canaan. That's why he said, look, we locked it to that, man. You're going to see that. That's why he said, man, they ain't got nothing coming. We locked it to them Canaanites, man. That's why he said, look, Zechariah 14:21. In the kingdom, he said, yeah, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness, righteousness, the laws and the commandments of the Most High, unto the Most High power of hosts, army of angels, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them and see therein. And in that day, there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Most High power of hosts. Ain't gonna be no more Canaanites in the Most High power of hosts, man. Most High army of angels. Zechariah left us with that. Because we were following the Canaanites, man. He just told us what? Get rid of everything they believe in. Burn it up. Tear it down. What we do. Until this day, man, we still dealing with the idols of these nations, man. You're going to see. Just stay with me. You stay with the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua, Bob. Show me Mashiach Yahushua. We go into his word. Psalms 106 and 40. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred, he hated his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen. And they that hated them, so the heathen love you, it say they that hated them ruled over them. You see, that's why the Bible is clear. And a lot of things that the Most High made sure that we would have it for these last days to look at and observe and realize the situation that we put ourselves in, but not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, y'all. Then he wrote with his finger. Verse 42, their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Hear that? This is what happened to us. Every time we broke the laws of the Most High, he put us in captivity. Right now is the first time that we're talking about repent and keep the commandments of the Most High. But the problem is, nobody know who gave. Not enough people know who wrote the commandments. Not enough people know who gave us the commandments. Not enough people know of the Most High. I mean, you that's just coming in, let me show you. All praise to the Most High. When you turn the page, you right there. Look what he said. Back to Hosea 4:1, y'all. Hear the word of the Most High, ye children of Israel. But the Most High has a controversy. He got a problem with the inhabitants of the land. Why? Because there is no truth. The laws of the commandments not taught up in here. Like I said, what religion is keeping the laws of the commandments? Keep teaching the truth. Which we know, class, is what? Psalms 119, 146, 142. We can sing it together. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. And thy law, that's the Most High's law, is the truth. Right? So the laws, the commandments, the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and knowing of the sacrificial laws. This is in the scriptures. Got to learn all of that. It's not being taught, point blank, in no religion. Or they wouldn't be ready for it. They would have just celebrated Memorial Day and getting ready for 4th of July. Come on, y'all. Nor mercy, meaning not getting something you do deserve to get. Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. There it is right there. Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. Jeremiah 25:30. That's why you got a controversy. That's got a problem, because there's not enough knowledge of the Most High in the land. Or prove me wrong. You know, I'm just a messenger. I'm here to tell you because I'm representing them. I got to represent it right. Jeremiah 25:30. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words. I'm talking to you. All these words. And say unto them, the Most High shall roar from on high and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes, like somebody stomping on grapes, against all the inhabitants of the earth. Where you going to be at? Say the noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. That's where we at, y'all. That noise going to come even to the ends of the earth. But the Most High has a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. You hear that? He got a controversy with you nations. He going to plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword. Who said it? Say it, the Most High. You think you ain't got to do what the Most High say do if you want to? He said, he will plead with all flesh. He said, he's pleading with you right now through me. He said, he will give them that are wicked to the sword, said the Most High. Thus said the Most High, power of hosts, power of army of angels. Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind, a great tornado, a great hurricane, shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Yeah, but hear what he's saying. This is a special tornado. This is a special hurricane like we ain't never seen. He said a great whirlwind. Thus say the Most High. Shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, y'all. And the slain, that's the people that's going to die, or the Most High shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Prophecy. What do you say? Verse 30, therefore prophesy thou against them all these words. This prophecy is going to happen in the future. And the slain of the Most High shall be at that day from one end of the earth even to the other. They shall not be lamented. Ain't nobody gonna be crying over the slain, the dead. Neither gathered, they're gonna be gathered, nor buried, they're gonna be buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. That's serious, man. How, you shepherds, are you that's over the flock of the Most High's people? And cry and wallow yourself in the ashes, ye principal of the flock. You that's over these brothers and sisters, shepherds over the sheep. For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel, and the shepherds shall have no way to flee. You know, he's telling you. That's why y'all got to come back and learn this truth. I'm just a messenger here, letting you know what time it is. You ain't gonna read this up in the church. This to y'all of y'all. I think you know the way. Appearing as a sign of righteousness, but you evil. And you're not dealing with what it is that you're supposed to be doing according to the Most High's word, man. Shepherds, man, those are leaders of the churches, man. Verse 35, and the shepherds, that's the leaders of the sheep. So the Most High's people shall have no way to flee. Ain't gonna be nowhere to run. Nor the principle of the flock to escape. You're not gonna escape. Let us know this, man. That's why he said in verse 30, therefore prophesy, this future prophecy that Jeremiah is letting us know, y'all. And the shepherds, verse 35, and the shepherds shall have no way to flee. Ain't nowhere to run, ain't nowhere to hide, nor the principle of the flock to escape. A voice of the cry of the shepherds, and an howling of the principle of the flock that's leading our people astray shall be heard, for the Most High has spoiled their pasture. I don't understand, man. He said, in the peaceable habitations, y'all living in the life of the rich and the famous, are cut down because of the fierce anger of the Most High. I don't understand this, y'all. It's serious. Jeremiah 7, the 7th chapter, verse 29. I finally got my conference call back on. Those that were on the conference call. Took all that time for it to come back on. I think I might turn it off. Okay. Jeremiah 7 and 29. Cut off thine hair. He said, cut off thine hair, O Jerusalem, and cast it away. You know, a lot of brothers be like, how do you read this and make it mean something different? He said, cut off thine hair. Cut your hair off, O Jerusalem, and cast it away, and take up a lamentation on high places. For the Most High have rejected and forsaken the generation of his wrath. For the children of Judah have done evil in my sight, said the Most High. They have set their abomination. Selected. He said, they have set their abomination in the house, which is called by my name, to pollute it. You think about all the abominations that are in the house of these churches, especially this. You know, a lot of churches have this up in the church. You know, they got that's abomination. That's the Bourgeois family. They call them the first crime family. Only 5 people in that picture, the Bourgeois. Nobody can show any proof whatsoever in the Bible that that picture is true. They set the abominations in the house, which is called by my name, to pollute it. And they have built the high places of Tophet, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire. I want you to feel this, like y'all feel about everything else that's prophesied against the heathen. Feel this for the children of Israel. How you feel about this? That's how you know that they don't really care about us. Nobody care about us. You know, it hurts just to read this, to know that we were so low that we done this. To burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my heart, into the Most High's mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that it shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. They shall bury in Tophet till there be no place. He said, we're going to bury in Tophet till there be no place to bury. Man. It's cold-blooded, Joe. To think that we did this. We did this. We burnt our sons and our daughters in the fire. We built pagan shrines, man. All this, why the Most High said and go to his place until we acknowledge our offense. All this offending the Most High. This is a garbage dump, man. Tophet, like a garbage dump. When we went in there, you know, it had to be stanky, and burn our sons and daughters there. Horribly put them to death. He said he not gonna leave any room in Tophet to bury no one. Every last place gonna be filled with bodies, dead bodies, slaughtered for what we did. Not only that, verse 33. And the carcasses, the dead bodies of this people, we the Israelites, shall be meat for the fowls of the heaven and for the beasts of the earth, and none shall fray them away. He said he's gonna give us to the vultures and all birds that eat our flesh and the wild animals, and no one gonna scare them away. He said, then when I was caused a siege from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem, The voice of mirth, ain't gonna be no gladness no more. And the voice of gladness, ain't gonna be no happiness no more. The voice of the bridegroom, ain't nobody getting married. And the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate. And that's real. That land is desolate, y'all, for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. It's just desolate. Nothing growing there. It's just beautiful land. Beautiful land. And it's just desolate. What he said is real. You know, I wonder in my mind as I seen that, as I went over to Israel, I was like, wonder how our cities looked. We don't have a clue. Find some footage of the city when Solomon ruled the world. I mean, they made up some, but we don't see it. We don't know. Sad, but it's real. Look at verse 9. Will you steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods whom ye know not? You know, I showed you all the time. Baal, what it means. Somebody called us a silly doctrine for bringing it out. Baal means Lord, Master. That's what it means. See that? In the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. That's why we got to bring it out, because if we don't keep showing it, and you know, eventually somebody gonna hear and say, "Oh yeah, I got to stop saying that. I got to stop calling on Baal." You know what it said? Look at verse 8. It say, "Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit." See, everything is set up to keep us from the Most High. Verse 4 says, "What? Trust ye not in lying words." But what it say in verse 8? "Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit." What he say in verse 4? "Trust ye not in lying words." What it say in verse 8? "Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit." That's why I told you, initially, you go back, it say we've been deceived by deceit, the lies, you know, and they deceive all the nations through the sorceries. Not just sorcery, but sorceries, multitude of sorceries, it tells us. Multitude of witchcrafts, you know. You trusted in lying words. He said, "Trust ye not in lying words," saying the temple of the Most High, Catholic Church, Baptist Church, Church of God in Christ, Church of Christ, you know, Jehovah's Witness, Temple of the Most High, Lutheran, all these different religions. Temple of the Most High are these. No, we're the temple of the Most High. First Corinthians 3:16 says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in us, in you." Verse 9, "Will you steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal?" That demon, that entity, "and walk after other gods whom ye know not." That's these religions, right? That's those religions that we're dealing with now. "And come stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations." Abominations? That's, come on. Filthy, wicked acts, sins. We delivered to do all that? No. Therefore, verse 14, "Will I do unto this house, which is called by my name, wherein ye trust, and unto the place which I gave to you and to your fathers, as I have done to Shiloh, and I will cast you out of my sight." That's cold, man. He said, I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim, meaning the northern tribes. Telling we the southern tribes, children of Levi, say, I'm going to cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. That's why he said, therefore pray not thou for this people. You can't pray for everybody. He said, pray not for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. That's deep. He said, I ain't going to hear you. That's heartfelt. That's why he tells us, look, so we got to know where we came from. You know, we can't keep on doing the same thing. We get caught up in the same thing because you think the elite having our Bible and let us not read the Bible don't know how we've been programmed. So someone like me deprogramming you from the way you've been programmed to be contrary to what the Bible is really talking about is a problem. But I'm just gonna keep it real. But you hear forbear. Proverbs, the first chapter. Most I said what? Verse 24, because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. And his hand is the mid of the Most High. We can prove that. Psalm 17:14. Psalm 17:14. What's the Most High's hand? He says, stretch out his hand, right? But men, which are thy hand, O Most High, from men of the world of Israel, right? So he says, he stretched out his hand, like I'm his hand. I'm bringing up over his word, the spirit of the Most High. He said, because I have called. Proverbs 1:24. And you refuse. I have stretched out my hand, which are the men, and no man regarded. Nobody paying attention. But ye have said it not, at nothing all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I'm showing you what we did and what we're doing now. That's what my source said. You got to be born again. You got to change. That's all it means, change. But ye have said it not, made nothing all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. He said, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When you get scared, you're going to mock, make fun of you. You're going to laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me. Then they're going to call upon the Most High. But I will not ask, just like he said in Jeremiah. Don't you bring no prayer to me, because I will not hear you. He said, then shall they call upon me. People be calling the Most High, but I will not answer because you don't know you. You have no relationship with him. You can't wait till disasters happen. You be what they holler all the time. Oh my God, it's too late. He the one bringing it on. He said, but but ye have said all at not all my counsel, verse 25, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind that he's bringing upon you. When distress and anguish come upon you that he's bringing upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge. And the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Knowledge is the gathering in of the right information. To have knowledge, they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. There it is. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. That's why y'all, you have 1,000 people get 10 likes. Because I know I'm talking about the Most High. But y'all don't want to hear it because it ain't about you. Y'all, but I was raising up, people Talk about people, y'all love that. But to know what it is that this Bible is really talking about, and you can't find nothing that will be justifiable without going into the Most High first, or prove me wrong. You can go to something else before him. Something comes before him. Who we got to tap into. He don't want to bring righteousness on this earth. Better understand, overstand. Jeremiah, the 19th chapter. Jeremiah was bringing it. Why, by the time you finish going through all that you hear here, by the time you get to Lamentation, you crying. It's sad, man. This us, though. Feel how you hear what we did and how we disrespected the Most High over and over and over again. Why he said, I'm going to go to my place till we acknowledge our offense against him and seek his face. Seek his face, because he turned his face away from us for breaking his laws, statutes, commandments, not doing what he said do. Not listen to his voice. Not listen to the word of the Most High, but following our own way. Gonna find out. Jeremiah 19 and 4. Hear the word of the Most High. While my shock ever shine. Because they have forsaken me. That me is the Most High. And have estranged this place. And have burned incense in it unto other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocence. Filled this place with the blood of the sons and the daughters. They have built also the high places of Baal. And they put their God, Baal, in this Bible as Lord. Master. And even Husband. They got us going all, they got us going this way, that way, whatever way you think of. And have us calling on their God, Baal, until this day. Because y'all say Lord. I hear Lord more than I hear the Most High. Then I hear Mashiach Yahushua. Think about it. But there's no enchantment to Israel. But Israel can't come out of the fact of calling on their God, Baal, which I just showed you means Lord. Look up any Bible dictionary. Can you think of a word that comes before Baal? You got to go back from L to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Huh? Any words that you can put those consonants or those vowels in front of? On, after BAA? You come up with a word? No. That's why generally in all dictionaries, the first word of B, especially a so-called Bible dictionary, it'll be Baal. And it means Lord. And even in Jeopardy, I've showed it many times how on Jeopardy they ask, what is the four-letter Canaanite god, Lord? What name is the four-letter Canaanite god? We may know Canaanite's going to be in the kingdom, but it's just read in Zechariah. That's what we did. Lord. And the dude said, boop, Baal. So, I mean, they're saying it right now. This is the last days, man. Knowledge is being increased. What more do you need to see? Listen. Verse 5. Jeremiah 19:5. They have built also the high places of Baal to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. You hearing this again and again? Most I speak once and yet twice. Why? Because we stiff-necked, we hard-headed. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that this place shall no more be called Topheth, nor the valley of the son of Hermon. but the valley of slaughter. Sound familiar? That's why the Most High speak once, say twice. Got to repeat it to us over and over again. Over and over again. He said, and I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem, the southern kingdom, in this place. So he's going to make us void. And I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies and by the hands of them that seek their lives. And their carcasses, their dead bodies, our dead bodies, will I give to be meat for the fowls of the heaven and for the beasts of the earth. And I will make this city desolate and in hissing. Everyone that passes thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. It's at this last verse. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. And they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and the straitness, wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall straiten them, have to reach over to survive. Eat the bodies of your people, man, your sons and your daughters and your friends for breaking the commandments of the Most High. Jeremiah 12. Jeremiah 12, 12th chapter. Verse 10. Jeremiah 12 and 10. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. That's why it's desolate. Why I tell you? In Hosea 4 and 6. My people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because we don't fear the Most High. And we don't seek to find the proper information to have the knowledge of the Most High that's in His Bible. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten what? The law of your power. Thy is your. We have forgotten the law of the Most High. I will also forget thy children. That's what He says. We forgot the law of the Most High that He wrote with His finger until this day. He says, that's what it says, as they were increased and we increased in number, so they sinned against me. We broke the commandments of the Most High. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. And our shame that we see as men, as our women. Our women are our glory. And He changed our women into shame. They don't really know how to conduct themselves properly. They got to be taught. Like we have to be taught. Women got to be taught too, how to conduct themselves properly as an Israelite. Go back to Jeremiah. We're going to be in Jeremiah a lot, Sean. Mark it. Jeremiah 12 and 10 again. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. Just say they destroyed them for lack of knowledge, because they have forgotten the law that the Most High wrote with His finger. Let me show you that, just in case some of you don't know. Might be your first time listening in. So you got to say to yourself that you don't have to do it. You, just like you've been saying, you ain't under the law. Look who wrote the law. Jeremiah 9 and 10. And the Most High delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, that me is Moses, written with the finger of the Most High. And on them was written according to all the words which the Most High spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. When he met us on the Mount Sinai, Moses went up, you know, to get the commandments. Mosiah wrote the laws with his finger. The same laws that you say you're not under, they're written with the finger of the Mosiah. That's something. But, you know, people feel like they can do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it. Hebrews 10:31 says, it's a fearful thing, fall into the hands of the living power. Fearful thing. It's serious, y'all. I think it's more serious than people want to really accept it to be because of the fact of y'all take lightly. Y'all take the Most High lightly. And y'all think that the Most High is all love. I don't think you can get much love out of what we done read so far in offending him. Somebody offend you, you love them. Your children do wrong, you gonna bless them, right? They do wrong, so you gonna make sure that they get everything they can imagine, right? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It don't work that way. But it worked that way with the Most High in your mind, right? Look at Exodus 31 and 18. Exodus 31 and 18. And he gave unto Moses, that he is the Most High, gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 40 days and 40 nights, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. Written with the finger of the Most High. So the Most High wrote these laws with his finger, and you think in your wildest dreams that you're not under the law and the commandments of the Most High. Even AI realized that this is what I'm teaching. This is what Mashiach taught. Did he sin? No, he didn't. Sin is a transgression of the Most High's law. And that's in the New Testament in 1 John 3 and 4. So now, here we are in this year thinking that we don't have to do what he say do. You hear what it say? 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. So all you said that you ain't got to do what he say. You have to keep his laws and commandments that he wrote with his finger. You giving him your middle finger. Meditate on that. Because that's what you're saying. I ain't got to do what you say do. Forget you for a lesser word. But you know what you're saying to the Most High. And I stand on what I say. Come on, man. Just in case some of you got an attitude or you got some kind of problem with what I just said. Revelation 22 and 14. Let's see what that says. You only got 7 more verses before the Bible is over, right? What does it say? Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. That's what he's telling you. Blessed are they that do his commandments. Before you end the Bible, he's telling you, hey, you got to keep the commandments of the Most High. Straight up. That he wrote with his finger. Let's go back to Jeremiah 12 and 10. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard by not keeping the laws of the Most High and tell them that they're not under the law of the Most High. That's why I say reject you. We just read that in Hosea 4 and 6. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. That's why we kicked out of our land and it's desolate to this day. They have made it desolate, and being desolate, it mourneth unto me. The whole land is made desolate because no man layeth it to heart. No man layeth it to mind. Ain't think about what we did, that the land is mourning. Let me show you that. It's real. The Bible is real, y'all. Baruch 4th chapter, man. Look what the land is saying. Uh, Baruch 4, we're going to start at verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies. Again, not to the friends, but unto the enemies. That's what it says. As the Master said, here it is again. For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, as we just seen in this lesson, all throughout this lesson, and not to the Most High. You have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem, that's the Lamb that nursed you. But when she, the Lamb of Israel, saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, hearken, listen. Oh, ye that dwelleth about Zion, that's the land, y'all. The Most High have brought upon me, that's the Lamb, great mourning. Say, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them, because we broke the commandments of the Most High. We broke the laws of the Most High. Look what it said. What did it say here? Jeremiah 12:11. They have made it desolate, and being desolate, it mourneth unto me, right? The whole land is made desolate because no man layeth it to heart, no man layeth it to mind. What the land say? Baruch 4, you tell me the Bible, that ain't true. Verse 16. These have carried away the dear beloved. And who the beloved? Go to Baruch 3:36, y'all. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. So the beloved, no matter you see it where in the Bible, represents the Israelites, his beloved, right? So here it is here in verse 16 of Baruch 4th chapter. These have carried away the dear beloved, the dear Israelites, children of the widow. The widow represents the land, and left her that was alone desolate, just like we read in Jeremiah 12:11. Desolate, without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. So who else you got that's going to deliver us from the hands of our enemies besides the Most High? Even the land know this. But we don't know because we following some man. Ain't no man going to save us. Tell you that in Deuteronomy 28:29. And no man shall save thee. But he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Listen, go your way, O my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate. That's the land talking. This is what it says. Remember what it says so you know. This is real. Jeremiah 12:11, they have made it desolate, and being desolate, mourneth unto me. That means it's crying unto the Most High. The whole land is made desolate because no man taketh it, layeth it to his heart, to his mind. This is what the land said. Baruch 4:19. Go your way, O my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate. What does it say? I have put on the clothing of peace and put upon me, just the land speaking, the sackcloth of my prayer, the sadness of his prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Most High, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. We got to cry to the Most High. The land is telling us what to do. The land mourneth, the land said he's crying. It's crying. Going back to Jeremiah 12. Praise the Most High. In verse 12. The spoilers are come upon all high places through the wilderness. For the sword of the Most High shall devour from the one end of the land even to the other end of the land. No flesh shall have peace. Why? Because we bow down to these other gods, man, these idols, man, like Baal. To this day, man, call them on Lord. What's the difference? They just changed the name. Still the same entity. Their God. Let's look at Jeremiah 11 and 13. Let's look at verse 11 first, because we understand the only time that the Most High had pity on us, we cried to him. That's why the land tells us to cry to the Most High sincerely. Humble ourselves. You can't do it if you're prideful. You can't cry to the Most High if you're prideful. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Jeremiah 11 and 11. This is what it says. Therefore, thus saith the Most High. You see, they put Lord there. We didn't say that. That's their God. Baal. A lot of y'all come in late. I'm going to keep showing it. See that right there? See what it means? Lord. And you know what Israel will do? Oh, that's not who we calling on. Okay. See, we're not supposed to learn how to read. Keep some of us you put in the book, right? We're supposed to be having these Bible dictionaries. Okay. Here goes another one. I gotta get some more. Maybe somebody buy another Bible dictionary to get it's all kind of look, the first word of beat right here. This is the New Unger's Bible Dictionary. You see it right there? You see it right there? First word. Baal mean what? Lord. Bam, that's their God. Elite. They're making the money for the Bibles and all that. That's their God. And that's who you're calling on when y'all calling on Lord. Look, you replace it with what it meant before they came up with this Lord. Therefore, thus say the Baal, which is Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon them. This is the Most High. They done put another deity right there for you to call on when y'all saying Lord, which goes back to Baal. Behold, this is the Most High. Not no Baal, not no Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. That's deep right there, y'all. That's the only time the Most High had pity on us. When we cried to him. And he said, well, though we cried to him, he said, he ain't going to have pity on us. He ain't going to listen to us. Like he told Jeremiah, hey, don't do what he told you. I mean, what's the difference? That's what he told Jeremiah, didn't he? Hey, don't bring I don't want to hear what they have to say. Ain't that what he said? He said, hey, I don't want to hear what they have to say. Point blank. Don't be no intercession between me and them, because I'm not going to hear you. Jeremiah 11 and 13. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods. I want you to look at this lesson, because y'all not talking much tonight, I see. I want you to listen to this lesson, but I want you to think about the Most High. I want you to think about how he feels and how we made him feel. After all the things he done for us as the Israelites. And this is what we did to him. Jeremiah 11:13. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods. The number of our cities, we had different gods for the different cities. O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Set up altars to burn incense unto Lord. This is what we did. It said, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. And you might not know, but Jacob's trouble is coming, y'all. And all you that don't want to hear, and you're going to be crying to the Lord, still calling on Baal. In the time of Jacob's trouble, he said, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Y'all better hear what he's saying. It's coming out. It's just where y'all at. Verse 17. For the Most High power of hosts, Most High power of army of angels that planted thee, have pronounced evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah. That cover all 12 tribes. The evil that we have done from the northern tribes to the southern tribes, all 12 tribes. Most High have pronounced evil against us. For the evil that the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, all 12 tribes, which they have done against themselves, we have done against ourselves to provoke me, that's the Most High, to anger and offering incense unto Baal unto this day, man. Y'all burning incense and y'all calling on Baal when y'all saying all praise to the Lord. That means Baal. And the Most High have given me knowledge of it. And I know it. Then thou showed me their doings, what they're doing. It's cold, man. Jeremiah 5. Jeremiah 5 and 28. People wonder why they call Jeremiah the crying prophet. You just not all this, man. This don't, if it's don't affect your spirit some kind of way, when you really, like I said, you think about the Most High. You that don't, probably press it off your shoulder like it's no big deal because he don't mean that much to you. But he the only one going to set up righteousness on this earth. He the one that's going to deliver us from our captivity. But who else you got in mind that's going to do it? That he can't give the order first to do anything. It's coming from him, y'all. He the only one know. Nobody know. My shadow say he don't know. The angels don't know. Nobody know but him. And we come back to him, you really feel for him. Do what he say do. Hey, you got opportunity. Other than that, you on your own. Most people are on their own. Was he not in the conversation? And he wonder why, the things happen that happen because something else is more important than him. We got to be in his words, y'all. We got to be right there looking at him. That's not going to be accepted until he put all of my Shekham's enemies under his footstool. That's why I'm telling y'all, I'm giving you something of the future and the presence. Jeremiah 5 and 28. They are waxing fat. They shine. Yeah. They overpass the deeds of the wicked. You hear that? So we wax fat, living large, and shining. Bling, 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 shining, illuminate. What do you say? They overpass the deeds of the wicked. So we so wicked, we overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. And the right or the needy, do they not judge? This is what we done as the Israelites, man. We cared about the fatherless, the widows, and the poor, those that are in need, man. He said, shall I not visit for these things? Said the Most High. Should not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? He said, a wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. What is this? The prophets prophesied falsely. He's telling lies, man. You ain't under the law. You're under grace. You ain't got to do what the Most High say do. That's what they're saying when they say you ain't under the law, that he wrote with his finger. You that don't know, go back and look. Rewind and see what the Most High have done. The prophets prophesied falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so. And what will you do in the end thereof? You see, our people love to have it so. These prophets, these preachers, these teachers, whoever they call themselves, whatever they call themselves, they prophesy falsely. They lying to the people, and the priests bear rule by their means, their own means, not the means of what the Most High is saying this Bible is really talking about. And my people love to have it so. He said, what will you do in the end thereof? That's why he said in verse 22, what he say? Fear you not me? Most High said, you don't fear me? Said the Most High, will you not tremble at my presence? Yes or no? I'm talking about you big, bad, bold suckers. He said, hey, fear you not me? Said the Most High. He said, will you not tremble at my presence? Which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree. He said he placed that sand right there. The sea came, I mean, large as the sea is, he placed that sand in front of the sea. When that water come up on that shoreline, it go back out. That's the Most High. That it cannot pass it. And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail? Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it, unless the Most High decree that it go over it. But this people has a revolting and a rebellious heart, a revolting and rebellious mind. Talk about us. They are revolted and gone. Neither say they in their heart. Their heart is the mind, the way we think, our thoughts. Let us now fear the Most High, our power. They ain't saying that. That's why they lack knowledge. That giveth rain, both the former and the latter in his season. He reserved unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. So your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins are withholding good things from you. He said, for among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait, as he that set a snare, set traps, and they set a trap. They catch men. As the cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit, full of lies. Therefore, they are become great and waxing rich. That's how they got rich, by lying to the people. But like you say, we love it so. That's why I go to Isaiah 30. We love it so. But we're rebellious. Isaiah 30 and 9. That this is rebellious people. Hear that? Lying children. That's deceit. Deceitful people. Deceitful children. Lying children. Children that would not hear the law of the Most High. That's why we destroy for lack of knowledge. As it told us in Hosea 4 and 6. because we have forgotten the law of the Most High. Therefore, a lot of you are a bunch of rejects. Now we tell about the pastors. Ain't no pastor, no preachers to him. That this rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Most High. Which say to the seers, which was the prophets were called seers before they were called prophets. See not, don't be looking at us. And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. They don't hear what we're saying to be the right things. Speak unto us smooth things. What they say, prophesy deceits. That's why they got a prophets that prophesy deceit. Why? Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. That's what they tell us. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. They don't want the Most High to be before them. That's why ping. I mean, you hear me say ping, because people say something about the Most High ain't about them, ain't about people. Ping, they out of here. Ping, they out of here. They don't want to hear the judgment. They don't want to hear what this Bible is really talking about. But they're going to have to give account in that day of judgment. Or before that. We all do. He said, get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel. That's the Most High. Power Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. That's what the Most High said he is, the power of Israel. He the power of the Israelites. But they say, get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. I'm telling y'all, I could care less about a multitude, because most I don't care about a multitude. He care about quality. Ain't about quantity, it's about quality. You know, I'd rather have 1, 2, 3 people that are really understanding the future in this present of how it's going to be in the future and operating in the present to be able to have a part of the future, the kingdom, instead of waiting till that time comes. And like I said, the remnant going to be on the chariots. What you're going to learn how to praise the Most High then? You're going to learn how to lock into the Most High then. He said they're going to be frightened, but they're going to give praise and glory to the Most High. And you ain't doing it. Ain't in your spirit. You got eliminated him out of your praises. You have to diminish him to just initials and typed all this in your texts and so forth, your comments and so forth. Then he's nothing but APTTMH. You can't even type out all praise to the Most High. Come on. Something wrong with that picture, yo. Or prove to me, you go before the Most High and say, he gotta accept. You give him initials after you type 2011 paragraphs about what's on your mind. But when it comes to him, and he the only one going to deliver us. He the only one going to set righteousness on this earth. And he even thought about, most people, you go see tomorrow, I'm going to ask people, you know the Most High? You know the Most High? You know the Most High? You know, the Father of, that we pray to, our Father, you know him? You watch. I've been saying it for over 8 months, maybe longer than that. In the spirit, people say no. You hear them say no. Why? Because he's not being talked about. He's not being brought up. I'm talking about he alone. Power of hope, power of army of angels, the power of the Israelites, the power of Israel. That's what he says his name is, forever and ever and ever, y'all. But what we say, Jeremiah 30 and 11. Do it change? Do anything change? Y'all hear anything change in this lesson tonight? Give a like. If you move by what you hear about what we done against the Most High, show them that you really care. Praise the Most High. Learn how to say praise the Most High about some of us. Come on. Get you out of the way, they say. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. You know? That's why, I look at talking about the Most High, the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. Y'all saying turn caused the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. It's written there. He said, wherefore? Thus said the Most High, the Holy One of Israel. You see that? He said the Holy One of any other nation. He said the Holy One of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Because he despised this word and trust in oppression. You believe in what the oppressor have brought forth to have you believe in, and perverseness, and stay there on, you stay there with it. The perverseness of them telling you ain't got to keep the Most High's commandments, his laws, until this day. Therefore, this iniquity, this wickedness, this evil, these sins, to be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant, like breaking down a high wall, crumbling down, man. That's what he's saying he's going to do. That's where it's at, man. I mean, he says it's going to be like a high wall, just tumbling down, falling down. So you're going to be like smashed like a pot, uh, somebody that's making a clay pot, just take it and just throw it down. That's why he said that wall just going to smash down, man. He said, and he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces. He shall not spare. Hear that? This is the Most High speaking, y'all. So fearful thing the Father has leaped. He said he shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a sure to take fire from the heart, or to take water without all of the pit, man. You better hear what he's saying. He letting you know, man. Ain't gonna be a piece of this pot that's gonna be scattered and broken as you throw it down to the ground. You ain't gonna be able to carry a coal from a fireplace or a little water from a well, man. That's what he's saying, man. This is our power. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's speaking. What y'all think? Jeremiah 2 and 8. Jeremiah 2 and 8. That's why I say, man, you gotta have some kind of feeling for the Most High, and listen to all this and go back and look at it and see how disrespectful and offensive we were to him and all the things that he done for us. And here we are. This is where we come from, and this is where we at now. And justify ourselves being there some kind of way today. Jeremiah 2, the 2nd chapter, verse 8. The priest said not, where is the Most High? You see they put L-O-R-D there? Which means B-A-A-L, y'all. And M-A-S-T-E-R. And H-U-S-B-A-N-D. The priest said not, where is the Most High? And they that handle the law knew me not. Hear that? The law is the Bible. Look. Baruch 4 and 1. Just so you know. The law is the whole Bible. Look. Because we learning. Are we learning from reading this whole Bible? Baruch 4 and 1. Just to show you. This book, it's the whole book, the whole Bible, of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. That's why I say you have a choice to choose life or death. You keep the law, you can come to life. You keep the commandments, you're going to come to life. That's everlasting life. But such as believers shall die. You're going to die. You're going to burn you up. We thrown in the lake of fire. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Jacob represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. I'm telling you. He's giving us clear instruction. Going back to Jeremiah 2:8. Listen, the priest said not, where is the Most High? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal and walked after things that do not profit. You hear that? That's why you got to be careful, y'all. And the prophets prophesied by Baal. You think they can't read that and understand that? You think it was a diabolical plan to turn Baal into Lord and put it in the Bible? And now you can't even stop saying it. You can't even stop saying Lord. Something wrong. That's like, hey, he deceived all the nations to his sorcery, like I said in the lessons of Revelation 18:23. Witchcrafts and so forth. Ain't no enchantment to Israel, but you can't stop saying it. And it's showing you over and over again just what it is. I mean, even Epstein's niece said it. But they worship Baal when they go in the house. That's what she said. And they took it and put Lord representing their God. And that's who you calling on all the time. That's why it's spiritual. And some people are not spiritual enough to realize that St. John 4:24 says what? Most High is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. And the spiritual part is going to allow you to see that you don't want to deal with the spirit that the Most High is. Spirit, that's him. And it's spiritual. And it don't hurt any way, shape, or form to be born again, to change, become a new man, a new woman. To humble yourselves, we got to humble ourselves. You want a broken and contrite spirit before him and representing him so that we are humble and not prideful against him. Because that's what you are. If you see it over and over and over again, y'all trying to justify saying Lord, which is Baal. Come on, man. That's why we're in the condition we're in now. And look, before we go any further, I know I got to stop because I got to get ready for tomorrow. But Ezekiel 39:23, this is what these heathen nations know, especially the elite. Ezekiel 29:23. And the heathen, these other nations outside of those 12 tribes of Israel that I name all the time, shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity. Why? But their iniquity. They know this. Because they trespassed against me. So you think they're going to show you the right way to go? Well, see, all the ways that we see in these religions are false. That's why most I go back and look. That's why he call these priests and these prophets, these ones that's over our people, the shepherds that's over the sheep. He gonna deal with them. He's saying if y'all don't repent and come back to the law, statutes, commandments, and learn what it is that we're teaching, what this Bible really talking about, that's everybody, no matter who you are. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity. Why? For their iniquity, for breaking the Most High's laws and commandments, because they trespass against me. The heathen know this. Therefore hid I my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. according to their uncleanness and according to their transgression, breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, have I done unto them and hid my face from them. Come on now. They know this. We don't know this because we don't know enough of the Bible to really put this all together. It's been put together. It's a puzzle. It's been put together enough for you to really just look at this change that you got to make. Stop offending the Most High. Jeremiah 2. Jeremiah 2 and 8. Hear the word of the Most High, y'all. The priests said not, where is their power? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal and walked after things that do not profit. You hear that? They walked after things that do not profit. That's why you look at, when you look at you speaking in the name of Baal, when you speak in the name of Lord, and you wasting your time with worthless gods or idols or these other nations, man, that you calling on their God, not the Most High. That's why Jeremiah 12, Jeremiah the 12th chapter, verse 16 and 17. He said, and it shall come to pass, future prophecy, y'all, today, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people. Who's my people? Let's find out. 2 Samuel 7:18. All praises to the Most High. Who's my people? 2 Samuel 7:10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel. You see? That's the Most High's people. My people Israel. And will plant them, he said, that they may dwell in a place of their own and move no more. Most High gonna plant us in a place of our own, and we ain't moving no more. Neither shall the children of the wickedness, neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. We ain't gonna be afflicted by these people that are wicked anymore. That's what he said, but my people, Israel. So now when you see in Jeremiah 12:16, and it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, those 12 tribes, the Most High liveth. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob liveth. He said that's his name forever and memorial to all generations. I like using that because, come on, he the power of those 12 tribes of Israel only. That's why, and if it shall come to pass, future prophecy that we bring forth now, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, the Most High liveth. As they taught my people to swear by Baal. Come on. You mean to tell me? I'm showing you over and over again. Some of you coming in late. You might not ever seen it. You might not ever know. Because you might not ever seen a Bible dictionary in your life. But I'm showing you in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Baal means Lord. You see that? It means Master, Husband, all of that. It's their God. Baal. It says, as they taught my people to swear by Baal. And I hear Lord. You do a census on it. I'll be listening. I hear Lord more than I hear the Most High, more than I hear any other name. I hear Lord more than anything. as they taught my people to swear by Lord, which is Baal. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. Then you're going to be built, these other nations, heathen nations outside of those 12 tribes of Israel, in the midst of the Israelites, in our kingdom. That's already prepared for us. Just waiting on our knuckleheads to get it together. But he says, but this is a condition, if is another condition, they will not obey. What you supposed to obey? Diligently learn the ways of my people, of what we're teaching as the Israelites. Not everybody, I might say, but I can vouch for myself, because I'm dealing with the scripture breakdown pretty much, and a whole lot of other brothers are, you know. But if they would not obey, you don't want to diligently learn the ways of my people. That's why I say it's time out for somebody else to be teaching us. We the Israelites, no, we are the teachers. We're the teachers in this last days. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. So y'all nations need to be trying to find out, as much as you can, teaching your people what we're teaching. Learn it, live and apply it in your life. That's what it said. But if they will not obey, that's a catch-22 right here, y'all. I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. Said the most, ain't saying individual, it said he will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. That's why in the kingdom, you got a head start, like I say, I'm in the future. He said, and it shall come to pass. That's the future. I'm in the future, in the present. And this here is the present for all you nations that want to be in our kingdom. Like we're in your kingdom. It's just going to be a righteous kingdom. That's why if you wicked, you don't deserve to be in the kingdom anyway. Our people, you're going to put them to death. 2/3 of our people are going to die. Straight up. That's what he said in 2 9:22. Let the multitude of people perish then, which was born in vain. Make it mean something different. He said, let my grape and my plant be kept. With great labor have I made it perfect. He's making some of us perfect. Not everybody. But it's going to be beautiful. That's why I say, but if they would not obey, you don't want to diligently learn the ways what we're teaching. I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, said the Most High. That's why I say. You're going to have to learn what we're teaching. You got a head start right now. But if you don't want to learn, he said, hey, you're going to utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. That's why I say Isaiah 16:12. For the nation, Isaiah 16:12, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. He's telling you that. He said in verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. He said, for in my wrath I smote thee, that thee is the Israelites. But in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So therefore thy gates, them 12 gates, each gate having one of the names of the 12 tribes of Israel on it, and an angel to guard those gates to make sure that only that tribe is going through that gate. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. This is the kingdom, y'all. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, the wealth of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Understand this, y'all. That's what he's talking about. But he said, hey, and the sons of strangers, verse 10, shall build up their walls. Don't they know how to build? They're building all these high-rise buildings and so forth. You strangers, you other nations, gonna build up our walls. I know how to do it. And their kings shall minister unto thee. He said, for in my wrath, I smote thee. He smote the Israelites for breaking his laws, statutes, commandments. But in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So Isaiah 14:1. In his favor, he said, he had mercy on us. We have mercy on. Find it where the Most I have mercy, like he's saying here, on these other people. And it's sad because people, they have a problem with the truth. That's why most I say he got a controversy, a problem with the people in this land, the habits of this land, man, because there's no truth and there's no knowledge of the Most High. They're not pushing the Most High enough. Or prove me wrong. Who we gonna have mercy on? Isaiah 14:1. But the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. You know? You got mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. That's we read in 2 Samuel 7:10. And set them in their own land. Say, we ain't moving no more. And the strangers, these other nations that are going to make it, that remnant's going to make it to our kingdom and build up our walls we just read, shall be joined with them. They're going to be joined with us and shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to be cleaving to us. They're going to say, hey, we know that the Most High is with us. They're going to say, let me show you what it's rather than just open it. Zechariah 8:23. What you going to be saying? Thus say the Most High, powerful, power, army of angels, in those days, in the kingdom we just reading about, when the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and set us in our own land, and the stranger will be joined with us. Thus say the Most High, power of hosts. In those days in the kingdom, it shall come to pass in future prophecy that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying what? What said they're going to cleave to us? Here it is. We will go with thee. We're going to go with you. This is what I mean. I'm saying thee to say you. We will go with you. We will go with you. Because, you know, a lot of people that say they can't read, they got to understand the King James Bible who's got these and, you know, thou and all that stuff. This means you, you know. It said, we will go with you. What it say? Even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, who's an Israelite, saying, we will go with you. For we have heard that the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua is with you. See that? That's why they're going to be cleaving to us. Isaiah 54:7 and 8. Isaiah 54:7 and 8. I'm just about finished. Isaiah 54:7. For a small moment, you know, a day to the Most High is 1,000 years. You say, for a small moment have I forsaken thee, we the Israelites. But with great mercies, plural, will I gather thee. Great mercies, meaning not getting something we do deserve to get many times. Will I gather thee, he said. In a little wrath, I hid my face from thee. So little, what we went through is a little wrath to the Most High. Are you serious? He said, a little wrath, I hid my face from thee for a moment to the Most High. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, said the Most High, thy Redeemer. That's why I say, y'all better hear what he's saying. Isaiah 14:1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. He's going to choose the 12 tribes of Israel and set them, the 12 tribes of Israel, in their own land. And we ain't moving no more, he said in 2 Samuel 7:10. And the strangers of the nations shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, right? Psalms 102:13. Psalms 102:13. Psalms 102:13. Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion. See, y'all better understand. That's why y'all hear me saying, Crum Most High. You know, Most High got to rise first. He the one going to bring the mercy on Zion, the 12 tribes of Israel. For the time to favor her, yeah, the set time has come. That time is with the Most High. When the Most High rise from his throne, and he tell Mashiach to sit on the right hand side of the Most High, to rise and go and judge and make war. So that's why I say, thou shalt arise, come Most High, and have mercy upon Zion, You know, for the time to favor her, yeah, the set time has come. That's why he say, "Will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land." We just read that in Isaiah 14:1. Look at Isaiah 46:12. Isaiah 46:12. And I'm trying to end, but I mean, the spirit keep moving. Isaiah 46:12. Hearken unto me, ye stout-hearted that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation, power, and authority in Zion. For who? For Israel, my glory. You hear that? So what are you going to do, y'all? Hear the word of the Most High. Look, going back to Isaiah 14:1. Isaiah 14:1. I'm really going to conclude this right now. Isaiah 14:1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them, the Israelites, in their own land. And we ain't moving no more. And the strangers, these other nations, that are a remnant of these other nations, shall be joined unto them. They will be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people, the Israelites, shall take them, these strangers, these other nations, and bring them to their place that they're going to live in. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. You see? If you had oppressed us, we're going to rule over them. That's the kingdom. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest. That's when we got to rest, y'all. This ain't our rest right now. From that sorrow and from that fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Who is that talking about? That's us. We the one that serve a hard bondage. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, America, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? Golden city, ceased. Golden America, ceased. That's why he said, Daniel 7:18. How have America come down, is saying, Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High, which are the children of Israel, when you read Psalms 148:14, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That's ever and ever and ever. Forever, 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 ever, forever, ever, ever, forever, ever, forever, forever, forever. Verse 27 says, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, a remnant, though, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Hear that? That means our kingdom going to last forever and ever and ever. And all dominions shall serve and obey him. Serve, handmaids, bondmen, handmaids, bondmen, handmaids. They're going to serve and obey him. Hitherto is the end of the matter. Hitherto is the end of the matter. And with that, give a like to the video if you can. And once you give a like, hype it up, because everybody need to hear this. You know, it's the word of the Most High. You know, stop being robots and robot tees. You know, somebody saying, no, 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 what? I'll be on tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific time, Shield of Wisdom. We'll be on at 1:30 Pacific time, 2:30 Mountain time, 3:30 Central time, and 4:30 Eastern Standard time to continue with this word of the Most High on this holy Sabbath day. Hitherto is the end of the matter. And with that, I'm out. Shalom. Tawada for joining me. Join me tomorrow.